Dig witch agus fáilte. Hello and welcome, my beautiful witches, souls, me owl flowers. Grab an owl's cup on tea and join me at the Hearth here to have a little chin wag and a look at chosen ritual, imposed ritual and reclaimed sovereignty. Oh yeah, we're getting into it today. Beautiful witches, thank you for joining me at the temple at the Hearth today as we dive a little bit deeper and where truths are witnessed and held. So I do have some notes here. If you are watching the video, if you're listening to the podcast, that won't make a difference. But if you are listening to the podcast, head over to the YouTube there and show it a little bit of love. So something that's been coming to my awareness lately is the difference between chosen ritual and imposed ritual. So ritual itself isn't the problem, don't get me wrong. Ritual is ancient. Ritual is part of being human, part of being a witch, part of reclaiming sovereignty, part of change, anchors for that. So and it also anchors meaning in our lives. But the difference between ritual that is chosen consciously and ritual that was imposed on us before we even understood what it meant. So for me, this is a layer that I'm unpacking and healing in my journey. A while now. I was going to say at the moment, but it is a while now. Especially being Irish and brought up with Catholic. I can't even say the word. That's how much I'm deprogramming myself. The Catholic Church. So many of us were brought through rites. We were brought through vows and belief structures as children. Again, especially if you were brought up with Catholic Church. I'm sure it's the same or similar in other religions, but for this one I'm speaking specifically about the Catholic Church and that institution that it is. So as I was mentioning, we were brought through these rites, vows and belief structures as children. We spoke words that we didn't even fully understand at the time, and it was simply done. It was the done thing. It was part of belonging, part of society, part of family. We were brought through things that we didn't fully understand or consciously choose at the time. So I feel like the imposed rituals, they can carry more than just words, especially as we go further into our journey reclaiming our power through ritual, through sovereignty and through choice, autonomy, awareness and freedom. So I feel like these can carry moral structures, they can carry expectations, they can carry beliefs that shape how we see ourselves, how we see the world. They can shape our sense of worth. They can shape our sense of what's right and what's wrong. They can sometimes carry a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of fear that was never truly ours to begin with or carry in the first place. Before I even go further, I do just have like a really, really vivid memory of making my first Holy Communion. Sorry, if I was meant to give a disclaimer. I'll do one at the start. I'll record a disclaimer at the start for anyone that has religious trauma like myself. Just go gentle with yourself. But the first Holy Communion, we were doing the practice run before the actual communion gig. And we had to do the practice run and go up to the priest and explain and say our sins And like, even at that age, I think it was about 7 or 8, I remember thinking, I don't really have anything to sin about. I think I made up like a story about being sorry or sinful for fighting with my brother or something like that. But like, even at that young age, I remember thinking, this is bollocks. I'm sorry for cursing, it's part of being Irish, but I knew then that it was pure bollocks. Like, what do you have to sin about at that age? Now I'm deeper in my journey. My own belief systems is that there's no such thing as sin. Sorry, I'm just thinking of Ghost doing the version of the Pet Shop Boys. It's a sin. Sorry, I'm going off a tangent. We're getting back onto the topic here. So, as I was mentioning, ritual itself, it isn't ritual itself that creates the harm. It's the lack of conscious choice at that age. Because ritual, when we choose it freely, it becomes something entirely different, as we know. So, also, I know probably some people are getting eyes wide shut vibes right now into their head. And if that's what's coming in right now, that's probably what's linking in. I will go deeper into that in 2 deeper episodes, but right now I'm talking about Catholic Church and that institution. So where was I here? Chosen ritual supports sovereignty, and it supports healing, it supports integration, and it becomes a tool of self-connection rather than a structure of external control. So when we are no longer participating out of obligation, we are participating out of alignment, out of sovereignty. This is part of what the temple and my temple of Haze represents. It is a space of a conscious threshold, a space where nothing is imposed, only chosen. I am going to go deeper soon into my temple ethos and the map of the physical and non-physical structure of it, so that it can make a little bit more sense. But basically it is the 3 layers of the outer stones, the hearth and the inner sanctum, and everybody comes to each layer and chamber of that temple when they're ready. Nobody's forced to come to any of these temple entries, any of these bodies of my work, unless they're feeling drawn to it. So a space where ritual becomes something that supports you and your becoming, rather than something that defines you without your consent. So in that space, there's no guilt, there's no shame, there's only presence, awareness and sovereignty. And this is the difference between inherited structure and conscious creation. So this is where the reclamation begins, and I'd really like to know, have you ever noticed a ritual, a belief in your life that didn't feel fully chosen by you? Let me know, and I hope that this helps in some way, shape or form. Gormy Amagut, thank you for joining me for this temple entry. I will be back with some more now, going a little bit deeper in the next episode. As I did have a lot for one episode and it would have been too much, so I'm after breaking it up into a couple of different ones. We'll be back soon with that next week, and I will also be back soon with another Cauldron Conversations at the Hearth with another beautiful witch guest. I will be back soon. Slán go fáil, blessings, benacht to you.